What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Never Miss Mondays podcast. I'm Olivia, and we have a new addition to the podcast today. We have Jay joining us, also joining us from St. Louis, Missouri. So Jay has lived in the same complex as me for a while, and we've gotten to know each other pretty well over the past couple of years. And Jay just recently, I would say, did a complete 180 on his life and getting into fitness and just having different goals to focus on, and just has changed so much and has just achieved so much in the last 6 to 12 months, and wanted to be able to highlight that. So Jay, if you want to give the people a little introduction about yourself.
Yeah, it's been a wild past couple months. I would say middle of the year, maybe after springtime last year is when I made a lot of changes, giving up drinking and shifting into fitness and health, and a lot of stuff in between has changed also. But yeah, I come from Houston, Texas is where I was born and raised, and now live here in St. Louis, and part of the OCW building, which has been really fun these past 2 years, and getting to meet everyone. It's been pretty cool. St. Louis has given me a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I always forget that you're from Houston, but I always remember usually when baseball season comes around. So, yeah, I mean, we've had, a great time here at One Cardinal being able to do that. But I know you said, as far as getting into fitness, and you had given up drinking as well too. It is myself being sober from alcohol as well too, and having a really big turning point in my life that got me into fitness.
Yeah.
From being overweight and not knowing what to do, and athlete and things like that. I feel like we have kind of been able to talk to each other about these things and have that mutual understanding. So
for sure,
everybody has that turning point. What do you feel like was that turning point for you, that you said, I'm gonna sign up for this half marathon and I'm gonna not have alcohol anymore?
It's crazy. The way it all started was I was kind of partying a lot and going out quite a bit, which it's still fun to do, hang out with my friends and all that. But the first challenge I gave myself was to stop drinking for 90 days. I said, all right, this is going to be, let's start now. Let's see what it's like, 90 days, kind of like a reset, and see what goes from that. So then I start the 90 days. I make it to the second or third month, and I'm like, holy cow, this feels unreal. And then within that time, I started, working out more, running. I didn't even think about signing up for a 5K or a half. I started running, and then I fell in love with it. It was just awesome. I liked going to the gym, but I hate spending so much time in the gym. You know what I mean? I go into the gym and I try to knock out my workouts. I'm not there to conversate and chat with everybody. It's get to work time, and that's why I liked running, because you're constantly moving. So yeah, I make it through those 90 days, and I'm like, holy cow, this feels so good. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't even want to have a drink anymore. And then later on, I sign up for the half marathon. I start to do a training plan, and it just amplifies over time. You gain so much. Not drinking, the mental clarity, the drive, it just affected me so much drinking wise, not having all those things. And I just felt like I was wasting time and not doing anything for myself really. But it's been crazy.
Yeah, I think, usually it starts with, like you said, that huge ripple effect that you kind of experienced of, just getting to the point where you're so desperate for a change. And so it's starting that first thing of, let me not have alcohol for 90 days. And, probably for a while, even before then, you knew probably in the back of your mind, I don't really enjoy this as much anymore. It's not serving me. It's affecting, my life, my relationships, whatever it may be. And so making that change and then being oh my gosh, this feels unreal. Do you feel obviously alcohol is a big thing I talk about, and going sober from that. Do you feel removing that from your life, obviously that got you into fitness, but do you feel that changed the way that you view the world, your relationships, how well you are at work?
For sure. I've always after drinking, I realized that when I don't have a drink, I'm 100%. And the same thing like at work, I want to be 100% in the morning when I go into the office. I want to be 100% like in anything that I do. And alcohol, it doesn't give you that. Uh, Now I do think like people can have like a drink or two and still be,
Yeah.
still be themselves, still be okay. But for me, it just wasn't that. And that's why I ultimately decided to give it up. For growing up, I played high school football and I was always, I enjoyed being in the gym and working out with my teammates and having those goals and just like pushing each other, pushing yourself to the limit. So I kind of missed that stuff, like how I was back in the day. So it's kind of like getting back to my roots,
Yeah.
and being dedicated in something or going full send is what I like to say. Uh, so yeah, and I've always been, pretty focused and really, how do I say it? Kind of be selfish, like care about yourself and put yourself first. So that also helped. Not drinking, you have to set your goals and you got to stick to them. Stick to your routine. Make sacrifices. Just all that stuff. So
Yeah, you kind of read my mind as far as sacrifice, and like you said, like, I'm friends with, and my partner and whatnot, like being able to have a drink here and there, but realistically, kind of what you're talking about, you had to go through a season of sacrifice to give something up to have something else. And that's not to say years down the line you decide, hey, I can do this on a more casual basis, but where you had said, hey, this is becoming a real problem for me, I need to just completely remove it from my life, is that season of sacrifice that you have to make to become the person that you want to be. So I think that's a really big point that you made. So
yeah, I consider myself blessed and like being able to say, all right, I'm done. Like I'm not gonna have any more. I even like said like I don't ever want to have a drink again. I'm able to commit to myself to do that. Not a lot of people can. Like they maybe like have withdrawals or
yeah.
they say they might have a drink like here soon, just stuff like that. Or it's hard for them to give it up. It wasn't hard for me, just because I saw a lot of good out of it, and that feeling is just so good. It's addicting. You wanna stay on that wave.
Yeah, I was noticed, when we kind of first started talking, when you signed up for the half and had given up drinking, I remember saying that. I was like, you're going to get addicted to this. Like, it's
Yeah, you did.
a different form of addicting way of waking up every day knowing that you're becoming a better version of yourself and that, you can depend on yourself every day. And that's a big thing with fitness and, having sobriety as well, too, is that you learn to have that, like, internal trust within yourself. You become more confident. You're more confident speaking with people. You're more confident at work. You trust yourself to show up for yourself.
For sure.
You like, the alcohol as well, but mainly like the fitness as well of just relentlessly every day showing up for yourself changed you as like how you speak to yourself, how you view yourself, and how you carry yourself in a room.
Yeah, you can definitely shock yourself. I never would have thought I would have ran a half marathon and now signing up for the full here in April coming up. It's crazy. It's funny. The other day I looked back at my like 5K race pictures and
Yeah.
it looked like I was gasping for air. I couldn't even run a mile before that. I was so out of shape, and then to be able to do the half like the way I did it and beat that goal that I had for myself, it's crazy, and it makes you want more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say like doing the 5K or the half marathon, like finish crossing the line is like the best part of it. I think the best part of it is like sticking through your training, and then shocking yourself at the end. You've prepared so hard for something, for any goal, and you hit that goal, you see your improvements. That's like the awesome part.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the same thing. Obviously, I talked a lot about bodybuilding. The stage day is fun, but honestly, like, it's just being able to see every day, like you said, like your splits change and just be able to know that you're showing up for yourself. And then, you went into the half marathon. You were kind of thinking about times, but then you finished and got a time that you were like, oh my gosh, what the heck did I do?
Yeah. It was like, holy crap, I did this. What else can I do? Like, to shock myself, let's push myself to the limit and see if I can do this. And that's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that was big, being able to see how that made such an effect on your life. And obviously, so things that you're doing, you had hard moments when you were in half marathon training and doing this, and probably
Oh
being in
yeah.
environments where people didn't want to do this. How did you stay so invested in this process when it was something that you'd never done before?
I would say knowing I had that race day and I didn't want to, fail
Yeah.
or just not do well, not perform well at that time. So I knew I had to stick to the training no matter what, as best as I could. And it was up and down. It wasn't like perfect every day. Garmin has a really cool thing where it gives you like a rating or a percentage you did for that workout. And there'd be some days I had like 20% or 30%. It was pretty low. Or sometimes missing workouts. I had a couple work trips throughout my training plan, and it was definitely hard to make that time. You still have to do like all the networking events, your meetings. So it was definitely difficult around that time to stick to the training. But I just did the best that I could, um, and then to be able to have hit that goal without having a perfect training plan is what like kind of shocked myself. So going into this full training plan, I know that if I do better and stick to everything as planned, that things I may shock myself even more. Like it may be pretty crazy what I'm
Yeah.
able to do.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, you and Matthew are running the full together in April, so I'm excited that we were able to rope him into that. So
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Is that his first full?
yeah, so he did a couple half. He's done so many halves. He did them when he was a kid, but obviously he's training for the Ironman 70.3 in August in Louisville. And so when I had found out that you had signed up for the full, I was like, well, you could definitely use somebody, but he
Yeah,
could definitely use somebody as well. So I signed him up and was like, you have 15 minutes to where I can get a refund. Do you want to do it or not?
that's awesome. Yeah, you
So,
gotta you gotta go ahead and do it and plan yourself for that.
yeah. And I think,
Just sign up.
that's the shove, and it's just being able to do the thing where you shock yourself. And I think that moment for the half marathon, I think for you, from what we've talked about, was like a big moment for a lot of reasons. You went into the race saying, it's not necessarily about crossing the finish line for me. This is just, honestly, 2 hours for you to run and run through all of the times that you didn't want to work out and you did, and just like reap like 2 hours of literally internal celebration was so cool for
Oh
you.
my gosh, yeah.
Like unreal feeling being able to do that. And I guarantee that's a lot of what you were thinking about in that moment.
Yeah, it was a lot of flashback. While I was running, it's all I could think of was, I did all the work. Let's enjoy the race.
Yeah.
See it all pay out. Enjoy the route. Just have a good time. Enjoy all the work that you put
Yeah.
in.
But
Pretty
then,
much.
you finished the race and completely shocked yourself. And, like, obviously through training and sticking with that, you had built that trust within yourself, kind of like we talked about. But seeing it on a board and it being real and concrete,
Yep.
was that like such like a, oh my God, like I really am capable. Like this is
Oh
something
yeah.
I really want to do. And that's what led you to do the full.
Yeah, I think people should really, if they look at something that may be hard, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know what you're capable of until you actually like try to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a race like that is brought that out to me. That was great.
Yeah. If you could like sit Jay from like 2.5 years ago in a room in front of you and be like, dude, these are all the things that you did. Like, what advice would you give to that person 2.5 years ago where he felt like he was just kind of running in circles, didn't know what he wanted to do, and now you're completing a half marathon in sub 2 hours, you're signed up for a full, you've got big plans for other things. Like, what does that conversation look like?
I would just say, just to pull the trigger. If you know you want to do something, don't let time go to waste. You're gonna regret. I think not doing it sooner. That's my regret because I knew I've always wanted to do like cool things like this, and I just never had the motivation because of alcohol. I was putting that first, going out or like entertaining or like pleasing other people in a way not making time for yourself. Like just try it. Even if it takes like baby steps. Do something now to get ahead of that curve, and you're gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I think that's, just such a cool thing to have. And you perfectly said it. What my next question was, you spend a lot of time, a lot of times we're both still very much young adults where we've found a crowd that we really enjoy, but we are still really changing a lot. We
Yeah.
find different interests. We have passions for different things. And, that was obviously a big thing I went through was I stopped drinking in college, and stopping drinking in college is like a cardinal sin.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like.
And so, having those conversations where, you're meant for something more, but you're going to have to remove something that maybe is a common interest with people. Do you feel like that was something that maybe held you back for a little bit, of fear of being different or breaking the normal?
Yeah, I would say a little bit, but I think once you're not dependent on something, like for example myself, I'm not dependent on it anymore. You realize like who you truly are, and you realize that you're still, I guess you can still have your friends and be yourself. That's the cool part of it. I think like I'm still able to hang out with my friends. Like nothing has really changed except for myself and my own goals internally. Maybe time with my friends has changed a little bit, but it's still fun to be around them. We're still all able to hang out. We respect each other. No one's forcing me to drink or anything like that. It's still very cool. And it's funny, Rachel had said the other day, we're gonna do a thing where we have champagne bottles, and it has everyone's name on it, and we're gonna give ourselves not like a resolution, but a big goal or metric to do in this year, and we're gonna celebrate together once that person has hit it. So I think that's gonna be really cool, just because when we all came together in Indy, that was fucking awesome for everyone to be there and give that support. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I think, two things. One, like you said, where like your friendships really hadn't changed. And one, I mean, that's just a testament to the people that you've surrounded yourself with.
For sure.
Recognizing that you have these passions and these goals, and it's like a fuck yes, let's do this together. Like, where we still may do these things, but we're gonna support you, and like you can be with us. But I think the big thing for that too is like what you said, you realizing that you now know who you are. Like you hang out with people, and it's like they like me because I'm Jay. They like me because I'm who I am, and not who I am when I'm under the influence or I do these things. Like
exactly
that, and not change that time where I've always been sober since I've known you guys, and we've maintained the same exact friendship. And so I think that's always just a really cool revelation for people to have, of where they were partaking in habits maybe they didn't enjoy with people, and then they don't, and the relationship stays the same, and they realize, wow, like it's just me and my company that they really have enjoyed this whole time.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you become like proud of yourself for showing who you really are, and for being yourself, and not being afraid of things.
Yeah, and obviously I think people seeing that, they grasp onto that, like you said, of like Rachel wanting to do that thing and marking goals and talking about these things. You doing this for yourself has very clearly bled into other people. Like, do you feel like
making
that change into yourself, that the people that surround you have started to take themselves more seriously or set more goals? Definitely.
I think if you showing that hard work or that dedication, someone's definitely watching. I've ran into other people across the building, and I've gotten like kind of like a pat on the back, like holy crap, like so proud of you, or you've done really well, like keep going, that's awesome. Just things like that. It's awesome to see the support, but also like you may change somebody else from what they see from you. I think it's great. You always have eyes on you.
Yeah, I think that's just like the coolest thing to be able to watch, is just that ripple effect that we talked about of, someone changing something in their life, and then ever so slowly people start to ask, like, first they usually congratulate you, they talk about things, and then they kind of start to trickle in of like, hey, like, how did you do this? Like, I want to talk to you about this, and they start picking your brain, and the next thing you know, they're off running, they're off training, they're asking you questions, and just being able to do that to people, because you think about it, you probably looked up to someone during this time as well too, of saying, you know, they were able to do this, or I've seen them change their life in this way.
For
Like,
sure.
that inspired you, and so now you're able to have that effect going down for you as well. So
For sure. Whenever you can see somebody close that
yeah,
you're close with accomplish like good things or be better, it rubs off on you for sure. Rather than seeing like maybe someone on YouTube or an
yeah,
influencer, it's crazier to see when it's somebody like next door. You
yeah,
know, like you guys, you're only 2 floors away, and seeing all the good stuff that you guys have been doing. The podcasts, the Instagram pages. It's cool to see for sure.
yeah. And I think that's like a whole different level, you know, the community that, you know, you're able to build within, you know, obviously like the building as well too. A lot of us are very close, but you know, just the community as a whole and within the fitness industry of being able to have those people too that understand and see you and recognize accomplishments and push you. And, you know, like you said too, you know, there was, what was it, like 8 or 9 of us that came to Indy, and like that was
Yeah,
so cool to come together and see someone we've supported for a really long time, you know, completely from the day that I met you to that day is like a whole different version of yourselves. Like
oh my gosh,
for
yeah,
us, it was a celebration of, oh my God, we're so proud of our friend for taking care of himself. Not like, oh, our friend's running a half marathon. It was
exactly.
committed to himself for the last, you know, 6, 8 months. Like this is such a celebration to just have him see the reality of how much that he's changed. So
Exactly. Yeah, that trip was definitely memorable. Not like you said, not just because of the race, but everyone coming along, having a good time and sharing. I feel like it was a shared goal between everybody. Uh,
yeah,
One, getting to Indy, having everybody there. Emily, she flew in from Florida.
yeah.
That was unbelievable. Just to see people do stuff like that is awesome, and you appreciate the people like that in your corner.
Yeah, and obviously, you're wearing a Monday Made hoodie. You ran your half
Yeah,
marathon in Monday Made merch. So like, and I think that's just a cool thing too. Is like winners want to see other people win, and
exactly.
that's what I'm like a trait that I'm really like seeing in you now too. Is like where it's just where you see people and it's this new level of like kindness and support and push to people of like, trust me, I've been in the depths. I know what it feels like, and like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like I'm just that utter support and push and
Yep.
kindness from being a winner. You want other people to win and succeed.
Exactly. Like I see the reels you guys post, liking that stuff, commenting, that definitely, it helps you. I do it a lot on my stuff, to kind of see like the past is
Yeah,
why I capture a lot of the moments on like Instagram or some of my workouts. It's cool to go back and see, holy crap, like
yeah,
I've come this far this way. It's a cool thing to do.
yeah. Because I had noticed as well too. Obviously, you had gotten a little bit more active on social media, and I
Yeah.
think that is just a cool thing. I was just having that conversation the other day, and I was like, I do social media. One, this is my job, but two, whenever I feel like I'm not making as much progress or I feel like things haven't changed, I have basically a visual biography of the last 6 years of my life. Like
Yep.
I can go back and see little string bean Olivia that had no idea what she was doing and really be able to conceptualize those changes. So I think, where documenting those things at the very beginning of your journey can be so hard and uncomfortable, are you like glad that you did those things so now you can have that to base that off of?
Oh yeah, exact. That's for sure. I kind of look at it kind of like my journal,
Yeah.
in a way. I started journaling too, but kind of like a visual. Exactly like you said. It's cool to see all those moments or what you looked like, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, to see the changes
Yeah.
um, in a page like that. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to do.
So obviously we're in a brand new year, 2026, which is so crazy. So
I
tell us
know.
about how you're feeling heading into, I know you've got the April full marathon coming up, the Go St. Louis. How is your like training program and mindset changed going into your full marathon, as opposed to doing your half last year?
I think maybe being a touch more dedicated to each workout and looking at my workouts as a win, for each day, rather than you know thinking about race day. I guess most of the
Yeah.
time, I'm not really thinking about it. I have looked at the track. It does look tough. There's a lot of
Yeah.
hills. So that that scares me, but also pushes me to take each workout, serious.
Yeah.
Uh, enjoy the slow runs. Just being committed to each single day, like separately.
Yeah.
Uh, but
I think
yeah,
it's cool that, you guys are going to be able to do this on your home turf too.
yeah, I'm excited for that. Just walk out the door and start running.
Right? I think that's just so special. You think about there's so many things that you're going to see, getting into health and fitness and making these like seriously monumental changes in your life and in your mindset that are going to live with you for the rest of your life. Like you're going to carry for the rest of your life that you poured into yourself every single day to complete these goals. It's
Yeah,
not just, oh, I have this medal. It's, I know that I did this multiple days on end. But now, you're going to have visual representations, whether it be like a road you drive down and it was a hill that you ran up that was really hard. Like, those are going to be reminders for you that you did that thing. And I think having those moments is so fun and so cool of memories that you had. So I think
yeah.
it's you guys are doing it on your home turf.
I didn't even think about that. Like maybe I'm sure we'll be running through parts where we're currently
Yeah.
training in, and so like you said, it's gonna be cool to I guess have those flashbacks. Oh, I trained on this route or on this road. I think it's gonna be very cool for sure.
I'm a very sentimental person, so I think about all those things.
Oh yeah,
I'll be in the gym and I'll be like, God, this is the last exercise that I did before show day. I'm like, but it's like, it's so important to like sit in those feelings of like appreciation and gratitude for how much you do for yourself and like remembering the purpose and why you do these things and how they make you feel
oh
because
yeah,
I guarantee the reason why you're so addicted to this now and the reason why it feels good is because, yeah, you look different, whatever, but you probably feel a million times different.
oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
probably what keeps you going.
I haven't felt like this in a long time. I think I probably started drinking a little bit before 21, 20 years
Oh.
old. uh, being around friends, family parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, holy crap! I never really gave it a break. It's just been ongoing for the longest time. So yeah, like you said, I feel like a totally different person.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think that's so awesome. So, do you have any other big goals for 2026? What are your mantras going into this year? Because
Uh,
it's
to
like
do
a whole year. Like, this is exciting.
I know it is a full year, so I have the full marathon in April,
Yeah.
and I got a lot of stuff going on this year too. My one of my best friends, he's getting married. You guys are getting married as well. It's a big year for you guys. Uh, Going to our bachelor party here in next month in February. Weddings in March, and then I turned 30 this year. Going to do my 30th birthday celebration, so that's going to be cool in October. I think just continue on with training. We'll see what I put on the calendar after the full. I think that's one thing I did learn too is that when you have something on the calendar or a goal, it just keeps you kind of motivated.
Yep.
Because after the half, I was already looking for like the next thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just sit around.
Yeah.
Having something to look forward to definitely helps for sure. But we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm focused on the full, and we'll see what happens after that. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna. I want to go to Louisville to support Matthew for the 70.3. I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be really cool to watch.
Scootering myself along as fast as I can. So I was like, I need to buy myself a bike for you guys' marathon. Or
You're gonna get one?
Ironman. Oh yeah, for sure. I can't run that fast, so I got to figure out another way. That or a golf cart. I'll figure it out. But I think that'll be. I think this is just obviously this is like you said your first full year. Also, I think just another thing to see as well too is you talked about going back to your roots and like being able to feel like that from being an athlete, stuff like that. You're in like peak athletic conditioning going into year 30. Like so many people get into the mindset of, I feel like, my time is over. I'm not, in my young to mid 20s, but we're heading, you're heading into 30, I'm heading into 27. in the best condition we've ever been in our life, physically,
Yep.
mentally, and that's going to carry over for the rest of your life. And so I think that that's probably a pretty cool moment for you too, of like, it's no longer I want to be like my 17-year-old self. It's like I am the best I've ever been, and I'm going to be 30 this year.
Yeah, yeah. Wanting to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. Well,
There's no time limit.
Yeah, and it's never too late to start, like ever. Like,
Exactly.
I see this every day in my parents. The way that they continue to relentlessly pour into fitness and see that, and this is just going to set you up, I think, for a lot of success. So I knew, over the past couple of months, just being able to witness you firsthand, like go through this transition and be able to have conversations. I definitely wanted to be able to sit down and get to even know more about you and let you talk about your journey, because it's been a huge difference, like you said, in the last year, and just accomplishing so many things. So I'm so honored that you wanted to come on the podcast, and just how supportive you've obviously been of Matthew and I. And that
Thank you guys as well. Yeah, you guys have been really supportive. It's gonna be it's cool to, I guess, to wonder what these next few years are gonna look like, or what the future holds for you. Sky's the limit. Yeah, everything's exciting. So excited for you guys. Excited for Matthew. We got to keep it going.
Cool. Well, we will be happy to have you back anytime, but obviously we will stay updated on your marathon progress, and then obviously everybody will be able to see you and Matthew at the finish line in April. So
yeah, hopefully with some Monday made singlets, some tanks.
100. Oh, we're for sure gonna get the merch line fired up. Matthew's already asking. So
Is he?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So we'll get everything good to go, but I appreciate you guys being with us today, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.